All right. Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me.
Learned how to overcome it. Whew. All right. Hello. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a chat. My name's Dan. I used to do daily art adventures. Then my career changed from being a full-time artist to being a full-time pastor musician. So I'm very happy, but I do miss painting more. All right. I am going to do something today. You see by the title, when is a painting finished? The answer is, the real answer is when it's sold. Now I do remember, I forget who it was, some famous artist of the last 100 years who is infamous for going into a museum, I believe it was, and pulling up a stool in front of his own painting and retouching it. That's why he's infamous. Not a good idea. So I draw the line at sold. When it's sold, it's finished. Because that answers the, I'll tell you in advance that I am afflictions. And all right, now for that, go back in the attic with storage space for paint over 10, 12, 15 years old. And I got, that was a big improvement. So now instead of having 100 paintings in my attic, I have 100 paintings in my hallway. Anyway, because I hope, this is one of the things I've been hoping. So one of the stacks was, you know, that painting would be helped. This is, what can I do? And maybe you might, this might be instructive for you. What can you do to old paintings to make them better? All right, let me show you a couple of them right off the bat. This one is not too old at all. 3 years maybe. Oak Island in North Carolina. I think this year it's a charming painting in several ways because I'll be so much better by then that I'll go, what was I thinking? But at the moment, that's not how I feel at all. I go, yeah, that's a little bit out of focus in here. Can we go? I want you to see up close some of the texture, of course. Because for me, of course, I'm what I call abstract realist. The realism is obvious, right? But what is maybe not quickly picked up by a novice or beginner or a non-artist is that the picture elements are not focus. My primary focus is the abstract elements of design: line, shape, color, design, value, texture. Texture galore, color galore, composition design, yes, line, shape, everything, all those things. Line, shape, color, design, value, texture. The picture, or as I like to mispronounce on purpose, the picture is just a thinly veiled excuse for showing off line, shape, color, pull up either here today or tomorrow. I won't get to all 9 today. I was still partly stuck. I'm proud of it. I'm happy with it. I think it's a good painting. As I gave you guys my definition. Hello, Liz Mouget. Muge. Good to have, thanks for saying hi. And it might be Lise. Forgive me, I'm probably ruining your name. Forgive me. Thank you for saying hi. Definition of art. Here it is. Art is stuff that's made to look at without any secondary or auxiliary purpose. Like someone might say, well, traffic signs, they're made to look at. No. That they're made to look at for an auxiliary secondary purpose, which is not crashing cars into each other, okay? Pornography, that's not, no. That's made for a secondary auxiliary purpose. And this would drive all the art critics, historians crazy. I have a definition of good art. What do you call that? Cat chasing. It's as good as I can do at this stage. Why, pray tell, might this painting be fun to look at? And it is, in fact, I believe for representational artists, it's always an interplay. It is indeed. When you look at this painting, you say, wait a minute, I think that's a person. In fact, I'm inclined to think that's a woman sitting on the porch, which it is. Somebody's in that car. That gives a psychological grab. And here's a car in the middle of the street coming this way, so we assume somebody's in that car. And if you look real closely down here, you can actually see, you can decide yourself whether those are people or not. A pretty building, you can see street, there's a sidewalk. We're standing actually on the sidewalk, on a red roof and a light, and there's street lights. Okay, give the viewer, I'll just say, a warm, fuzzy feeling. Oh, look, Go, ooh, a lamppost. Ooh, a tree. Ooh, I like those kind of signs. You know, that again, they don't think this consciously, but in their subconscious, this kind of sign, I'll be brave, I say, because this kind of sign speaks of home-owned, you know, a cute, crafty little bit. It's not Walmart, right? You don't see one of those outside Walmart. You see one of these when you're on vacation in a cute little town. Does that make sense? It makes you want to go in there, and especially when there's a sandwich. All these picture elements give you a warm, fuzzy feeling. Okay? But, as I've already said, the rise by saying the stuff that trees fuzzes out this building, and even this car, if it weren't for that your eye picks up. Oh, I'll go back to the woman on the porch. It's the fact that your brain put these picture pieces together out of abstract pieces that gives you a little aesthetic texture. Not too much, because there's rest areas and there's busy areas. So the balance between rest and busy, the balance between warm and cool. Warm, I've got a painting I'm going to work on today that's too warm. If it's too cool, it has to be balanced. Not half and half. Half and half is irritating. So this painting is mostly cool with warm areas. That probably gives you a good feeling. The painting is mostly busy texture with rest areas. If I just cut off this part out here, car, building, sign, right? Too deep in the weeds, but it's the addles you, if you will. That's not what gives you messy enough so that your brain has to kind of tidy it up a little bit. And you probably like that little spark of light reflectates to points of light like that, and it gives you a sense of pleasure. All right, so there is such, and that's sort of in contrast to some of the paintings I'm now going to show you, which is paintings I'm not proud of. All right, I'm not embarrassed, but that's the way it is. Hello, Uncle. Hello, Zoar Jun Pasukal. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's laggy. I am so sorry about the bad sound, the lagging sound. So much. Hello, Uncle. I don't know what I can do, but it's bearable. All right, it has a strong central character or subtina. When I did it, I thought that was kind of cool. You know, whoa, that's so cool. There's nothing down here but abstracting. But now I've decided there's too much. I have some of these are already framed. How do you know when a painting's finished? When it's framed? Yeah, but not really. All right, this one is an old painting. I wish I had dated it. This probably goes back 10 years old. I found it in my attic this last December, and my daughter and I were decorating our house for Christmas, and I said, paintings in the house, and put up snowy pictures for Christmas. In fact, on snowy picture. All right, and I'll have you notice it's on board. It's on myself. The back of the board, by the way. All right, and this is Raleigh, North Carolina. Again, about 15 years ago. The title of this painting, I was kind of tickled by it when I found it. It's called "Looking for Hills." Think about it. All right. There's some lovely looseness throughout the entire painting. I didn't over, and the two places where I noticed this the most are back here and right here. Now, don't panic, because what do you know about this painting? It's dry. It's bone dry. It's a 15-year-old painting. And I'm going to now diminish what I just did, hopefully to taste, okay? Before I was intimately familiar with that principle or that reality, okay? So this painting definitely suffered from not enough atmospheric perspective. That is so much better. We're still getting the same effect of, you know, the porch, the fence, then the house porch, and then the distance behind it. It still feels like distance, but now I'm not drawing so much. The attention is coming more to the characters here, and we feel the space more than we did just a minute ago. Let me do a little bit of the same pale blue up here. And by the way, whenever I do paint with my fingers, I feel like I should tell you basically what I want to do here. But let's before I put this away, let's give white here. Even so I'm putting pure and a tiny bit version of yellow ochre. Okay. In my palette, it's in the brown category, even though it's called Naples Yellow. But more. Oh, and by the way, it's a good time to mention that my titanium white is almost always an alkyd white. Do you see that word right there? Freedom to plaster this paint on without worrying that it's going to take 5 or 6 weeks to dry. So what are my values range in this painting? Here. Now it's also slightly warm. You know, I see a great opportunity right here. Edges. What Richard issue? It's an awareness issue. Edge awareness. Doesn't mean that everything's soft. It means there's a full range from hard to soft, and hopefully a proper balance. Hard edges